right. Here we go. Welcome to the Toledo to the World show, everyone. I'm your host, Deborah Sue of Glass City Talent 419. We are in the studio today, and I'm honored to bring in a familiar face, not just to Toledo, Ohio, but indeed to the world. Today, our guest is NBA champ, entrepreneur, outstanding coach, right? Toledo native and an Ohio son as well. We're going to welcome to our stage, everyone, Mr. Dennis Hopson. Welcome to
Thank
the
you. I
stage, Dennis.
appreciate it.
Thank you and welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here. I have so
Yeah,
many
I'm glad to be here.
I have so many descriptions of you that it's hard to get them all in, but we within a half hour show, but we're going to do the best that we can, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right. It's an honor to have you on my show, and I really do mean that. You are a Toledo treasure, and I'm happy to call you my friend as well. So I'm happy that you came onto the show, Dennis. So, I really want to talk about a guy that maybe the world doesn't know so much about. We know about your professional career, and in fact, before we even get started with the Dennis Hopkins of today, I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the accolades that you have. We have some of your past achievements include Hall of Fame inductions, right? Correct?
Yep.
Including Ohio State University. Your alma mater is Bowser High School, if I'm not mistaken. So
You're
you got
right.
an induction there. City of Toledo, the African American Legacy Project, the State of Ohio Basketball and American Basketball Hall of Fame. And you are also, most recently, the recipient of the College Insiders 2024 Jack Bennett Man of the Year Award for Integrity.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I listened to all the honors that I've received during my basketball journey. And again, I wouldn't be right. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't thank the people that helped me get there, like former teammates, opponents that I played against, my family, just different people that had encouraging words to share with me. And it allowed me to achieve a lot of things along my way. And it's funny, Deborah, I didn't have these type of expectations when I first started playing basketball. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. It's one of those things to where I think coaches noticed the talent in me, and they talked to my mom and dad because I could take it or leave it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I played out in the streets a lot. I played different sports, but I did. I had a gift, and had they not talked to my parents and convinced my parents to allow me to play the game of basketball, I'm sure that I probably wouldn't have received some of the things that I've accomplished along my basketball journey. So I'm fortunate and I'm blessed to have the right people in my corner and people that believed in me.
Absolutely. And actually, if that was one of the things I was going to address with you, was your basketball ambitions an approved ambition by your family initially? Were they like, no, 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 we need you to go to college and you can think of all that other stuff later? How did you fall into place that you actually got their support?
Well, it was no pressure at all. And again, I just think coaches saw me playing around, just playing around. They never seen me play competitive basketball. They saw me just playing around at the park, and especially my high school coach and my elementary coach, and they took a liking to my skill. And that's when they started to talk to my parents to convince me to allow me to play. And
Mm-hmm.
it was the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever. And I know when I went off to Ohio State, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this, people don't know this. I didn't play basketball as a freshman in high school. I played as a sophomore, junior, and a senior. And I was fortunate enough and talented enough to further my career at the Ohio State University. But the big thing is that I didn't start loving basketball to the end of my freshman year going into my sophomore year. And
Hmm.
that was in college. So, I can speak at a camp today and I can ask a kid what he wants to do or who he wants to be. And the first thing he's going to say is he wants to be a NFL player or an NBA player. I want to be Michael Jordan. I want to be LeBron James. That wasn't if you would have asked me that when I was young growing up, that wasn't a desire of mine to play in the NBA. It was just something that I was blessed and fortunate enough to do. And I don't regret it. I had enjoyable times doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's a unique perspective from you, because I listen to the young people today, and I've heard some of the very same comments about their what their future ambitions
Mm-hmm.
are. When you were in high school, because obviously, you were very tall in high school, obviously, right?
6'5",
Okay.
6'5", 174 pounds.
Yeah, okay. See, you were born to do what you're doing, whether you want to admit that or not.
Right.
But it's very interesting to me when I hear young people say that they want to get into the NBA or the NFL. My question to you is, when you finally did reach that pinnacle, that part of your life, what was it like for you? Were you in disbelief, or did it kind of sink in immediately, or how did that happen for you?
I don't know if it sank in right away. I think I had a teammate in Brad Sellers that was a senior when I was a junior at Ohio State, and he got drafted that his senior after his senior year, and I actually went to his draft party in Cleveland, and I actually led the team in scoring that year. I averaged 20 points a game,
Mm-hmm.
and I started to get a little ink, or I started to get more ink in the newspapers, and people started to talk about me a little more. And I said to myself, you know what? I got a chance. I might have a chance at this. I might be able to further my career once I'm done here at the Ohio State University. And when I got drafted, I don't know if I looked at it as if, man, you're one of 380 plus players that were fortunate enough to get drafted to the NBA. I don't think I looked at it that way. I
Mm-hmm.
think I can appreciate it more now than I did when I was playing the game many, many years ago. So
Okay.
again, it's just a blessing. I know it's like 400, I think, because there's some expansion teams now. There's like 400 plus players that play in the NBA now. But back then when I played, it was only like 380. And
Mm-hmm.
I know, again, when I speak at camps, you have to say, or like I tell the kids, there's a lot of, you got to look at the town that you're in. And I'm sure there's about 20,000, 24, 25,000 kids here in the city of Toledo. Now,
Mm-hmm.
your bordering states, when you talk about Detroit, how many kids are there?
Right.
Bordering states, when you talk about Indiana, Pennsylvania, you know what I mean? And it's only
Yeah.
480 some kids. So my question to them is, how you going to get there? You know, and the first thing they want to say is hard work, but it's not hard work. Hard work is a part of it, but it's the right work. When you
Mm-hmm.
start getting results, that means that you're doing the right thing. And I think, again, when I took the game serious and started understanding it more and start playing it from the neck up in this area here, that's when my whole career kind of took off as a player.
Mm-hmm. How were you able, Dennis, to stay grounded? Because that's a prestigious, job to have, NBA basketball player. How were you able to stay grounded?
Because it was just a job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Superman, and guys that play in the NBA right now, they're not Superman. They bleed the same blood that everybody else does. So it's one of those things to where I could appreciate the opportunity, and I can appreciate having that chance to play against some of the best players ever to play the game of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was a job. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
somebody getting up going to Jeep every day. We just didn't work as many hours. Practice might be 2 hours, but again, I'm going to stay appreciative. I'm going to stay I'm going to stay humble. I'm going to accept what it was, but not put more into it just because you're on a certain level and you're making a little more money than a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And you know something, that's admirable, because that is what you have to teach your students now, isn't it? Because I'm sure they look up to you a certain way, and my goodness, they certainly have reason to be. Because I'm going to transition a little bit away from NBA to what you do right now, that includes your coaching achievements at Lord's
Mhm.
University, and I know you've done some stuff in other places, but you have an outstanding record at Lord's University. Let's talk about that.
It's okay. It's okay. We've been the biggest thing is we've been successful for the 5 years that I've been there, and I can't complain. We've been the biggest thing is the biggest plus for me is that we've graduated 19 students in the 5 years that I've been there. Actually, all of our players, 90% of them, 95% of them have graduated. And that's the big plus for me. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, we've won a lot of games. We've been to the national tournament the last 3 years. We won a conference tournament championship. We've won 20 plus games every year. And I can't complain because, again, when you're taking a job, you don't really know what you're in for. You don't know what type of resources you have, because on our level, we don't have the scholarships that they have on the NCAA level.
Right.
I'm working with less than two scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm
Mm.
trying to field a team I'm trying to field a team of 16, 17 guys, and you only got two scholarships to work with, but
Mm,
you can stack money, academic and athletic money. So there's ways that you can get things done. But I tell you, I got a great coaching staff. I got players that's committed. I got players that's willing to work hard. I got appreciative players. So I think that's a lot of the success comes from having the right people around. So I'm very,
mm-hmm.
very fortunate to have people that I have around me right now, and that's allowed us to be pretty productive slash successful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But you know what? You're being very conservative in what you're saying. To say you focus. I think it might just be a school policy, but it sounds to me like you have a high amount of value when it comes to academics,
I do.
because you have graduated 100% of your student athletes, as you mentioned before,
Hmm.
and to graduate these people with certain grade point averages, and they still are grounded kids. I hate to call them kids, they're grown people, but to me they're kids. That says a lot, though, because it is about the sport, but it's also about the academic and and application.
Hmm. For me, I think a part of my DNA consists of accountability, um, and holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I think expectations. I'm sorry, expectations and accountability,
Right.
and they know. They know. I mean, if you can't come to practice late, because
Mm-hmm.
my thing is that if you know what time it starts, like I tell them, if you know what time it starts, why would you be late? Okay, I
Yeah.
tell them, I said I am never going to be late for practice unless I'm in a major car accident or I'm dying.
Mm.
Okay, because I'm going to give myself enough time, Deborah, to get where I need to be. Okay, so
Right.
there's certain things that I believe in, and
Mm-hmm.
again, at the beginning when they're new, some of them can't understand that, but as time goes on, you can best believe that they understand who Coach Hopson is and understand what Coach Hopson's philosophy is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if I can't trust that you can do X, Y, and Z, how are you going to be able to perform on the basketball court?
Right,
You
exactly.
know what I
So
mean?
I will tell you, if they come to school with stars in their eyes because they have an MBA, a previous
They don't do
MBA,
that. They don't do that.
if
They
they
don't do that.
come, they're gonna wake up really quick, because you are not that guy. You're different. Well, not that you're different, but your teaching
Yeah,
abilities are very serious,
yeah.
obviously.
It is. I mean, again, I think again, what I'm doing is I'm trying to set people up for the future,
Yeah,
and we do that through the game of basketball. Okay, now
yeah.
they might like the classroom, but they love the game of basketball. Okay, well, how are you going to leapfrog over the classroom to basketball? You
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. All right, you have to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you do what you need to do in the classroom in
Mm-hmm.
order to get over or get to your love, which is basketball. So
Yeah.
whatever you need to do, we're gonna do it through the game of basketball. But little things like me going over to their apartment, me knocking on the door, if they open that door and that apartment's not clean, is
Mm-hmm.
probably going to tell me how you're going to play on a basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Mm.
people don't really understand that, but it's the truth. If you live reckless, then you're
Yeah.
probably going to be a reckless basketball player.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, that
Yeah,
shows how deep you are into it. You actually go visit these folks' residences, huh?
I sure
What is-
do. They never
Wow.
know when I sure do. They never know when I'm gonna pop up. And again, it's
Mm-hmm.
more on. I always want to check on my guys. I'm very committed. I'm passionate. I'm dedicated about my guys.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm trying to lay the groundwork for them moving forward. What does that mean? You're not going to be playing basketball for the rest of your life, okay? Even
Mm-hmm.
if you're fortunate enough to further your career after
Mm-hmm.
Lord's University, you're still going to go out here in what we call the real world. Okay, so how do you survive in the real world? Well, you start
Mm-hmm.
preparing now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we prepare through the game of basketball. And if
Mm-hmm.
you do something wrong, I'm probably going to suspend you. If you come late to practice, I'm going to make you go home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's just what it is. If I come late to practice, which I've never done this, I want the kids to make me go home, and they can conduct their own practice.
Wow.
All right. Again, what I do
I like that.
is I just try to set an example, and we try to do it through the game of basketball.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've done a fine job, because I'm looking at some of these coaching achievements here. 18 all academic team members, broke universities records for consecutive wins, 13 in a row. Broke school record for most consecutive wins at home, 18 in a row. Led team to the highest national NAIA ranking in the university's history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a lot to listen, and this it's a whole box of accolades here with regard to what you have done. So you have certainly done a job there, and I hope that and I'm sure that the university is very very happy to have you on
Mm-hmm.
because you've brought some phenomenal statistics there, and I know it's work. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's hard work. It's ups and it's downs as it is in anything else. You do great, and then you kind of hit that rough patch, and then you
Right.
get going again. But like you said, it's about determination,
Mm-hmm.
accountability, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we have your core
Yeah.
coaching
Yeah.
achievements are
Family,
family.
integrity, balance, respect, attitude, leadership.
There you go.
Okay, so they, Deborah, they know this, and then once you get them to buy into that, then you start talking about accountability and expectations, and then once you can get them to buy into those two, now you start building a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now the biggest question is, you asked me if we have a culture. We don't always have a culture, you
Right.
know. And
Yeah.
then the biggest thing is once you develop a culture, how do you sustain the culture? It's
Mm-hmm.
tough. If I had you talk to 1,000 coaches, I guarantee you that the majority of those coaches are going to tell you that they don't have a culture that's consistent.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right, but again, if you can get that consistent culture, all right, now you're batting 100. But it's tough because you got people coming in all the time and they don't get it overnight. They don't get
Mm-hmm.
it overnight. It takes a lot of teaching and a lot of people understanding your conversation and then mimicking your conversation so they can understand exactly what it takes to be productive and successful. Not
Exactly.
always easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you handle when you come across a situation where, I mean, I know you've had conversations with parents. How do you come across, how do you handle parents who come to you who may not necessarily agree with your disciplinary style?
Again, I can't be anybody's father. I know a lot of people say, well, you're the father, you're this, you're that. Now, I might be this and that. I might be a mentor, I might be a teacher, I might be a coach, but I can never be that kid's father because I didn't make that kid, okay? So I
Mm-hmm.
would never accept that part of it, and people might disagree with me. But again, that's just me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're going to be a part of what we do, okay, I need for you to be on board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if again, I'll use things like, if you're a star, I want you to be a star. If you're a role player, I want you to be a star within a role that you play. Okay, and when you let parents know very early or going in that this is what we expect. These are expectations, and we're going to hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if it's up to them, if I want to sign to go to school here at Lord's, or they don't want to come because it's too much, that's on them. But
Mm-hmm.
if you come, you know exactly what you're signing up for. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
again, like I always tell them, I'm not going to kill your kid, but I want him to be better than the way that he came.
Yeah, he gonna put in
That's
that
important
work,
for me.
work, 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 work,
That's
huh? He
right.
gonna put it in.
That's right. I had to put it in. I had to
That's
put it in
right.
once I understood what it meant. I had to put it in, and I'm still
Mm-hmm.
living at the age of 59. So, I'm not going to do anything to hurt anybody just because they're
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah. So speaking of 59, do you see yourself going beyond college as far as coaching is concerned?
I will. I will. I mean, you never know. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, it's all about relationships, and I have the relationships, but these coaches nowadays are a little different because there's a lot of insecurities because they know how
Mm-hmm.
they got the job, and it's probably not doing the right things, being unethical or stabbing somebody in the back. So now they look at everybody as being them. So it's not easy. But if I had the opportunity,
Yeah.
I would love to get to a certain level, but again, it's not easy. Even though I played the game at the highest level,
Mm-hmm.
again, you have to be a part of somebody's family if you want to get to the next level or any level. And I do have some people that I know.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of them if they want to hire or they don't want to hire. It's
Yeah.
just it's just a tough business.
It's a tough business. Yeah, I do the entertainment side on the other side, and it's a
Yeah.
tough business. And I often tell lots of people who have a lot of talent that I have worked,
Mm-hmm.
come and worked across. But I tell a lot of them yes, it is hard work, but when you step into something overnight, it's because of who you know, or
That's
you
right.
got your family in it, or you have somebody that's got to connect that will let you just walk right into the office because it doesn't typically work that way.
We're not now anyway. And resumes,
Yeah.
I mean, they're still resumes, but I don't know how much they count nowadays.
Right, exactly. Before we go on, I want to say hi to the people that have chimed in. Hi, Donetta Carter. Happy to have you in here. Eric DJ Toledo Summers. Happy to have you on board, sir. Frank, the director, Grace. Very happy to have you here. You too, Miss Shawana Wynn. It's a whole bunch of people. Sharice
Make sure you
Norwood,
tell them
Jonathan
how I say
Coleman.
hello.
Yeah, and our man over here says hello to you guys.
All
Okay,
right.
he's happy to have you on board. So
Thanks.
okay, well Dennis, listen, we're looking at the 621 hour. I would like to know. Let's talk about Dennis Hopkins, the Hopson.
Uh-huh.
You know, forever since we've known each other, I keep trying to put a K in your name,
You
and I
can't
don't
put
know
a
why.
K in there. Just make sure you put a P in there. Everybody does that. Everybody does that.
Yeah, it's just we feel like there should be another letter in there. But Dennis, let's talk about your business ventures here in Toledo. What's happening there?
Well, I started a mobile lounge, and I want to clear some things up. It's Havana and Rye Mobile Cigar Lounge, and I think a lot of people just feel that it's for cigars,
Mm,
but it's not just for cigars. I think it's just a shuttle bus, and we can accommodate you with whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, weddings, bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, sporting events, tailgating parties, that type of thing. And if you
okay.
like to smoke cigars, there's a high dollar ventilation system that's been installed, so you can do that, which you can't do that on any other shuttle bus. So again, I
Mm-hmm.
want to clear that up, but it's I think it's going to be a fun venture. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be an opportunity for people to connect and do some great things. And I know I'm going to have fun with it. I've actually had some bookings so far. I've been to Cleveland for 2 days a couple weeks ago. I've had a wedding. I have to go back to Cleveland this weekend, I should say, on Sunday.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity for me. And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping and appreciate anybody that's willing to support and have a good time. We'll have fun with it. I don't think it's a faddish thing. I think it's something that's going to be around because
Yeah.
if you do smoke cigars, a lot of people do, and again, you don't have to drive. You can just jump on and go where you want to go and have a good
Mm-hmm.
time and enjoy.
What's the capacity on the lounge?
It'll hold about 20 to 22 people. It's a nice
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice sized bus. It's very
Mm-hmm.
laid out on the inside. It's
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable. You have music, you have TVs, you have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that you can enjoy. Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
So
of things that
it's
you
a
can
lounge.
enjoy.
It's a lounge on wheels. So
There you
folks, let me
go.
tell you something. You do not have to be a cigar smoker to
No.
get to rent this bus. Okay, you ladies that are getting married, we have wedding season coming up here. If you want to, cruise around town in style. Because let me tell you
Yes.
something. This thing is nice. It is very very nice, and it's completely up to date. And like you said, it's got
Hmm.
Wi-Fi. Anything that you could need, it's there. Okay. So don't think that you have to be a cigar connoisseur to do this.
That's
But if
right.
you are, you're in luck too
That's
because
right.
the capabilities are there for you with the ventilation system and everything. Now,
Uh,
Dennis, are you going to get into the production of your product, or is this something that anybody can bring, or is it something that you're going to exclusively offer on your van?
you can bring, if you're a cigar smoker, you can bring your own cigars. You can bring food. You can bring liquor. Okay, that's fine. And then I also sell cigars if you want to purchase if you don't have cigars.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think it's a way to enjoy, have fun. I know hopefully this football season, a lot of people will rent it for tailgating parties
Yeah, for sure.
to go and just party. And I have a storage unit in the back of the bus to where if you have a barbecue grill or something you want to bring, if you're going to do something like that, you can put it in the back and just go. I have seating outside and so
Yeah.
a carpet. So if you want to have fun in style and look good, it's a way to do all that and have all that.
That's right. So grown folk, okay, married people with weddings, high school, college graduates. And listen, if you just want to have some fun in
There you
style,
go.
make sure you reach out to Dennis with his Havana and Rye mobile cigar lounge van, and that's a whole mouthful of why the name. I mean, that isn't that the brand of the cigar?
No, you got, well, Havana is a you know, you got the Havana is a cigar, then you got
Okay,
Rye is like the bourbon. So, you
got
know,
you.
somebody, you know, I met with somebody and they helped me pick that name out, and
Okay,
it kind of grew on me, and I
yeah.
like it. It pops, it
Yeah,
pops.
well, it
So,
does not. It does now, especially that I know what it means because I know
yeah,
there's a Havana cigar, and then of course I'm
yeah,
not a drinker, but now that you mentioned that, I do remember seeing that. So
yeah.
that's pretty suave. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's creative. I mean,
It's
I
creative.
didn't have a lot to do with it, but when it was introduced to me, I was all on board. So,
I think that you're the only. Are you the only vendor that does that in Toledo now? I think you are on
yes,
wheels.
yes, yeah, on wheels. On
Yeah,
wheels, I am. Yeah, I am on wheels. You know, you got
yeah,
several cigar lounges around town, but
yeah.
on wheels, yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know
And
why
then the other
anyone.
thing too, the other thing I would tell you that we can do is I could pull up at your house if you have enough room. Now it's not this bus is not something that you can park out on a narrow street
Right.
and not expect people to get upset about it. But you know,
Yeah.
if you have some room to park it, if you're not, if say you're a cigar smoker and you don't smoke in your house, or you're
hmm
having a family reunion or a cookout, you know, you could pull up and it can be stationary.
Yeah.
And again, you can come in and do what you need to do. It's got air conditioning, it has heat, so you know,
Yeah.
depending on the climate, you can do what you want to do.
Exactly. Now you have a dress code.
No, I don't have a dress code. You get on any way you want. That's up to you. And again, we just have fun. We have fun. We
Okay.
chop it up and enjoy.
Yeah. Andre Matthews says one of a kind. I love that. And Keith Porter said, again, Keith Porter said, hello. I am really intrigued by that. And I think that you have a lot of opportunity in Toledo because this is something new to Toledo. I don't think, again, I'm almost certain that I have never seen, although we may have some more pop up now,
Right,
but
right,
I really,
always.
because you kept that quiet. It's probably a good thing that you did because usually you get a good idea out there like that not too long after. If somebody can afford it, they usually try to follow in your footsteps. But see, that's why you're the best because it's going to be hard to follow that. That's a very classy van.
I appreciate it. Yep, I appreciate it. I've had it. Next month will be a year.
Yeah.
So I need to get it working ASAP, or consistent work, I should say.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know what, Eric, I hope that you're still on here, but I know you could probably get this word out and listen, work with Dennis. Let's get this thing rented out the rest of the season. Okay,
Mhm.
let's get some of those tailgate parties planned and let's get it. Let's just do it.
That's right. Let's do it. Let's be Nike. Just
That's
do
right.
it.
Just do
You
it.
know?
And we're not infringing on that either. We're just
Right.
we're saying something different, Nike. So don't come for me, okay? All right. So we're at the 6:29 hour, Dennis. One more time for your van. How can people reach out to you to reserve the van if they wish to?
You can give me a call at 419-261-0806, or you can go to havanaandride.com, or you can go to thecigaraffair.com, or either website, and get all the information that you need. And if you have further questions, you can call me, and I will tell you what you want to know.
There you go. Cherise Norwood has a very good idea. We do have that Scott picnic coming up very, very soon. You could probably park it up there and have some, some stuff to give out. You might get quite a few bookings up there.
And I would do that too, because they have a great crowd at their reunions.
Absolutely. So we're gonna look for your van out in the parking lot.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay. So what's next coming up for basketball season?
We start school next month, and we got about 5 new players that's coming in this year, and
hmm
we're looking forward to an exciting year. It's always scary going in because you know they hold you to a high expectation, and you know, if you're me, you want to make sure that you do better than where they feel that you're going to do.
hmm
And it's not always easy because it's based off of people staying healthy,
hmm
people understanding what you expect, people pick it up and things that you implement and practice. So it's not an easy thing. Coaching is very tough. It always helps when you have players, but again,
hmm
you never know. I mean, your best player, and I'm not trying to jinx anyone, but your best player could be somebody that might get hurt, and it's like, what do you do now?
Very true.
But again, you have to keep going. They're not going to cancel games just because somebody gets hurt, whatever might happen. You have to
Mm-hmm.
keep playing and figure it out. But hopefully, going in, I like what I have. I like what I see. Hopefully, we can continue to do what's been done over the past 5 years, and hopefully, we can get people to come out and support us.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. I love everything of what you're about what you're doing, Dennis. I think you're a very positive influence in Toledo. I,
Mhm.
I don't expect that you will be here, forever, but while you are here, we are definitely appreciative of your presence and the things that are doing to help Toledo shine. I like to say you help Toledo shine. You're one of our diamonds from the mud, so we appreciate you so very, very much.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, and I also appreciate our community. The community was great to me as a young kid growing up. So all I can do is try to do my best in returning the favor. Because
Mm-hmm.
without the community and other people, I wouldn't be who I am.
That's
I
it
don't know
right
who I
there.
am. I don't know who I am, but I wouldn't be who I am. Let's put it that way.
You and be that guy right there, right?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Well, we love you, Dennis Hopkins. Hopkins, we want you to be around for a very long time. And when you do decide to leave, if you ever do decide to leave, we're gonna all crawl on top of your van and just go with you. You'll
All
drag us
right,
all down the street.
that'll work. I don't plan on leaving. I might buy another place somewhere else, but I'll still keep my place here as well. So
There you go. You still call Toledo your home. Your boots are
always,
grounded here. There you go. We love to
always,
hear that.
always.
All right,
Thank you.
friend. All right. Well, listen, we're going to wrap up our show today. Thank you to everyone who chimed in with the comments. We appreciate each and every one of you. And personally speaking, as Deborah Sue, I appreciate each and every one of you in Toledo that supports this channel, as well as my viewers from across the United States. I do appreciate you. Please tune in next week for another really great show. I'm going to have on another interesting. He's not as great as Dennis Hopkins. Okay,
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Trust me. Yeah, he is.
listen, now because he's not from Toledo, so we
Okay.
just gonna say something different right there, okay?
All right.
But come on back, guys. Come join me again next Thursday at 6 o'clock hour right here on this station. Make sure you go in, you like and you share and you subscribe to my channel on YouTube at Glass City Talent / Toledo to the World. Until then, everyone, we're gonna tune out. Say God bless to everyone, and Dennis, thank you again for being here. I truly
Appreciate it.
appreciate you, my friend, and we will talk again soon. Everyone,
All
have a
right.
good
Thank
night.
you. All right.
Okay,
You
bye
too.
bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.